Hello everybody, my name is X-Factor. Today we're going to talk about my reaction to playing Battlefield 1 multiplayer in front of the world over on Twitch TV and YouTube. Seriously, memes are being made. Is it Battlefield 420 or is it Battlefield 1? For those of you who do not know, we mixed in with 15 different celebrities including Terry Crews, Jamie Foxx, Zac Efron, Zed, Wiz Khalifa, and Snoop Dogg, and a couple of the boys were lighting them up. There was a dankness in the air. The actual camera caught it. It was hilarious. People are jumping all over it on the internet. It's absolutely hilarious. So Battlefield 1 was an absolute blast. We're going to talk about some of the things that come to my mind first, good and bad, because I do have a couple different concerns from what I saw and experienced today. It feels like a Battlefield game. That's the good news. The core mechanics are still there, capping and defending flags. They may have even slowed down the capping process. You could still challenge with multiple players. You could still burn back and forth, but flag fights are going to last quite a bit longer. And that's okay, because the worst thing that happens is you get capped out, you're forced to spawn at another flag. They're slowing that dynamic down, not to mention they're giving you a lot more points for capping a flag. That's huge, right? PTFO, and I'll tell you this much, Richard Sherman, every time I spawned in, that guy was on a flag, which is awesome. He's an actual Battlefield player. He gets it. So the next thing I want to talk about is the destruction. Take the destruction of Bad Company 2, Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4, roll it up in a ball, throw it at your monitor, and then watch it explode, because that is a level of destruction you have in Battlefield 1. It is nuts. There's no building that can't be taken down. I don't think I could find a feature that cannot be taken down. And I'm not talking hit it with a couple tank shots and it drops a whole building. It drops differently and in different places. So whether it's a wall on a road or a small farmhouse or the barn, it's crazy. Which is awesome, because that means no place is safe. Used to be able to play behind safe things in BF3 and BF4. Oh, this wall doesn't explode? No, not BF1. You're gonna get wrecked if you sit there. But that brings me to my next point. Armor is extremely strong. Tanks need to be feared again. But what kind of added to that is not enough people knew how to play Assault. That's the engineer. You get an anti-tank deployable. You go prone, get the bipod out, it shoots an anti-tank rocket. For the light tank that fits one person, you could one bang that. 80 plus damage if you hit in the treads or a weak spot. Each tank has different weak spots, but the main tanks, the big battle tanks, they take a ton of damage and they keep on ticking. I think the most I ever hit one was for 22, 23, tried back, tried treads, tried just about everything. It's crazy, but I believe every class is going to have a throwable or anti-tank basically add-on, whether it's dynamite or the throwable grenade that is anti-tank. Every class is going to have that. Assault comes with that. Of course, you can change out to incendiary or frag or some of the other options that they do have available, because there are quite a few. So the tank gameplay is strong. The dogfights are nuts. And part of that has to do with the way damage happens with these biplanes. If you get your left wing torn up, not a good sign, but your plane's gonna fly differently now. What about your right wing? Plane's gonna fly differently now. Dogfights are a blast, whether you're the gunner in the back or you're the primary pilot, you still have a gun of your own. The dogfights, they don't last a split second like they do in Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4. Somebody gets behind you, a stud pilot rips you when rips you into your lead or into your turn with his lead. That doesn't happen. These fights last quite a few seconds and they're absolute blast. The dirigible, the behemoth, the Zeppelin, death from above, 6-seater, and it's piloted. You can take it wherever you want. The losing team gets it. And it's really hard to take down unless your bomber is dropping bombs on it. And it's wise to take it down because, again, there are 6 gunning positions. The pilot can drop bombs himself, I believe. It's crazy. And there's even a gun on the top. And if you exit it, you actually get spat out on top. So if you want to drop some sniper shots across the map or parachute down, you can do that. So that's something you have to take advantage of. Be very careful. Make sure you take it down. So what happens when this thing goes down? It goes down wherever it was. It's not scripted. It goes down wherever it was. Is it above the village? We saw where it took out half the village, 3/4 of the village, all the buildings. And then of course the carcass is still there of the Zeppelin that might block the path to tanks. It might take out a couple tanks. It might change the way your infantry push, or it can crash out in the middle of the field, you see the carcass and not much more going on there. So let's talk about one of the bad things that I really don't like. They went super paper, rock, scissory with the guns and the classes of Battlefield 1. So if you have an SMG, you're actually going to destroy people within 30 feet or so. But if you decide to tap fire, bullet, 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 even at range, one might go an inch left of your iron, the next shot might go an inch right. And I'm not talking tap firing rapidly, I'm talking boom, boom, boom. So then of course you have some of the bolts that are very good at long range but are not good up close. The shotguns reign supreme up close. The LMGs are pretty good, but it actually makes sense to bipod with them because they're not very good at medium long range. In Battlefield 4, Battlefield 3, you could tap fire most things, make it work at long range, not so in Battlefield 1. So that's actually something I hope they blend those lines just a little bit more. The SMGs, you're already giving up your rate of fire at medium long range. You're already dropping off on that damage over distance. Give them just a little bit more accuracy. The LMGs a little bit more accuracy because the gunfights up close are absolutely brutal. It's the one at medium and long range that are really hurting. And a lot of times you'd see a sniper using a pistol up close. I didn't use the scout class because I was too busy trying to kill tanks on the enemy team because they're all over us, but there's a reason for that. So we'll see how that unravels. But the game felt good. It felt like a Battlefield game, and obviously the immersion is nuts. The graphics are absolutely crazy. It was insane. Are you playing in the fog? Are you in the rain? It really changes the dynamic of that map. Can you actually move in an open field because the fog's out and they're not going to see you? Passive spotting is also gone. Now you physically have to be on somebody, spot them. That spot disappears behind the cover. It'll reappear for a split second. Maybe you can spot them again. So that's interesting. It's not going to be a Dorito shooting simulator anymore. So I had a blast. It was absolutely crazy. The game is nuts. It was a lot of fun. But I will have gameplay on the channel later. So we're going to post a round, maybe two, and then we'll see where we go from there. If you guys have any questions or comments, don't forget to leave them down below because I'm going to do my best to address as much as possible over videos and, of course, social media while I'm on the road in LA for EA Play in E3. As always, guys, thanks for watching, thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you guys soon.